Hi, my name is Shauna. As we've been studying through this semester, I have come to realize that Johann Heinrich Pestalozzi has similar thoughts to myself in his philosophy of teaching. He definitely was impacted by his mom and by the servant, the female servant who lived with him as he was growing up, that truly showed great maternal love in his home environment. He was also affected by his grandfather, who had a great deal of love and compassion for those less fortunate. And in his service as a minister, he would often take Johann with him to visit the poor and those that were more needy. So as Pestalozzi continued to grow, his thoughts and beliefs about education continued to develop, and he firmly believed that education could help to transform a person, that by acquiring knowledge, this could truly help to create in a person the ability to reach for his true potential. At the heart of all that Pestalozzi believed were a couple of things. Number one, he believed in the true humanity of a person, meaning that they had this original goodness inherent in them because of who they are as an individual. He also believed in the maternal characteristics of teaching, and that love was a crucial factor, both from the teacher to the student, but then also in the environment that the student or the learner was in. That it needed to be an emotionally healthy environment, and that a student or a learner really needed to be connected to um, his heart, his head, and his spirit, and his hands. Meaning there was this moral center of an individual that needed to connect to their hands on ability to take knowledge and make correct choices with it. And it would tie into their spirit or their head, meaning their intellectual ability or capacity to learn. In considering our society today, are so many of our children, the children growing up in our societies, are just met with so much hardship, trials. It almost seems as though an adversary is attacking them to keep them from really reaching their true potential. And so to have an environment like Pestalozzi advised, where students and children are in an environment where it's emotionally healthy, is something I think our children today truly need. Many of them come from broken homes or tremendous hardships, or have been affected and have been victims of something tragic or otherwise that has caused them to need and feel like they are loved. So emotionally healthy environments can be created in classrooms. I know that Pestalozzi tried to create it in a number of different ways, but teachers and educators can truly create uh, an emotionally healthy environment where students and children of all ages can learn. I also believe, like Pestalozzi did, about the maternal characteristic of teaching, that teaching really needs to be centered on love, where children feel loved. Pestalozzi also believed that by helping students interact with their environment, particularly with objects, it allowed them to use their senses to come to a knowledge and understanding of what was true. And I believe that Jesus Christ did that same thing. Jesus Christ would help a learner be in an environment where they were loved, even if that environment meant some discipline, and then that allowed him to teach them through the use of objects. He would often set a child in their midst, or he would use the objects that were in the environment, bread, rocks, light, and he would allow the person, the individual learning, to be able to interact with that, to truly come back to the humanity, the true humanity that's in them. And that just really resonates with me and my philosophies about education.